Chris Conley, and a happy spring break to all of you. Now, while everyone else is getting a tan in Daytona, we've got Michael Douglas, Sharon Stone, and Paul Verhoeven's thriller Basic Instinct to keep us warm. This is, of course, the story of a deeply troubled detective who develops very basic feelings indeed for the brilliant, manipulative woman who's the prime suspect in a brutal murder. Now, this movie's sex scenes have been talked about for months, and for once, they seem to live up to advanced billing. But Basic Instinct has attracted protests from members of the gay community who object, and strongly, to the film's portrayal of its bisexual and lesbian characters. Fair or not, you decide. But either way, Basic Instinct figures to start a lot of conversations.
I've always insisted that the preference of sexuality is not an issue. And in Basic Instinct, it's the same.
This is one in a series of continual portrayals of lesbians as villains, as killers of men, as man-hating, as psychopaths.
My character, particularly Catherine, isn't really driven by a particular sexuality. She's driven by an all-consuming need to be powerful.
What's your new book about?
A detective. He falls for the wrong woman.
Where else have you ever seen lesbians portrayed in anything other than a negative role?
What happens?
She kills him. That's valid as an exclusive concept.
It just uses Catherine's preference for sexuality, or lack of preference of sexuality, I would say. It uses this only as a plot point.
You ever engage in any sadomasochistic activity?
Exactly what did you have in mind, Mr. Corelli?
Art or filmmaking should be audacious. You should always go for what you think, what you feel as an artist.
And I was very clear with Paul that I felt if we did this with honesty and with integrity to these characters, that I was in. That if we didn't, that it would become pornographic.
She's seducing. She is absolutely in control. She is not a victim of anybody, and not of men either.
Tell me about the coke, Nick. The day you shot those two tourists, how much coke did you do? Come on, you can tell me.
She doesn't give in, and she has an answer to everything.
There's a kind of a dichotomy about her in that she is absolutely revealed and honest and blatantly in your face. You're in over your head.
Maybe. But this is how I'll catch my killer.
I would go as far as I can always. Not even as far as I can, that means as far as I can imagine.
These are not tender, embracive, gentle, new wave love characters. These are like animals.
After 4 or 5 years of sexual neutrality, I wanted to do something about people in bed, probably.
All right, and while G.L.A.A.D plans informational leafleting outside theaters where Basic Instinct is playing, other groups hope to hurt the film's box office by giving away the ending, which is a little more ambiguous than you might imagine it would be. Anyway, we'll see how that one goes.